Peace, guys. So, I have also been considerate and cautious about certain things. I am very abundant in ideas, and I have literally like no lack when it comes to creativity. I always have ideas. I always have solutions. I consider myself solution oriented. And I understand that there are people who aren't, that's not their skill set, being, people who come up with various ideas and things like that. And so sometimes there's people who may have less creativity who do seek to take things from more creative people. However, as I became more spiritual, I began to understand that there's no such thing as a lack of compensation. And I know that this sounds kind of crazy to say in the realm that we're in on this worldly plane, but from a spiritual level, there's nothing that goes without notice, and there's no such thing as like Allah sees everything, knows everything. And so whatever you give to the universe is what you're going to get out of the universe. And if you're giving solutions, and if your heart is in the right place and you have great intentions, you will get compensated, sometimes tenfold, sometimes sevenfold, for your contribution to humanity. So I say this to say that I'm not extremely learned in the medical world as far as the Western medical world or whatever, but I do have, I have a relative, my brother is very, very kind of, I guess you could say, high up in the medical field. And so he has a lot of information. And what I do know is that they take a Hippocratic oath. Most medical professionals take something called a Hippocratic oath, which is essentially, they have to vow to, it's multifaceted, but they have to vow to protect private information. I think it's called PHI or PI. So basically, patient information is something that when you go to a doctor, you go to a health professional, something happens, you get a diagnosis or whatever, they have taken an oath that they will protect your private information. And that's not just physical medical professionals, it's also mental health professionals. If you get a mental health diagnosis or some sort of whatever, they have vowed to swear that that is your private information. So when it comes to this pandemic, and it comes to, when I watch the news and things like that, and they say, oh, so-and-so, or these amount of people were diagnosed with this, whatever, the COVID or whatever, I do wonder how that is. I wonder how the medical world is able to kind of get away with that in light of PI. But I say this to say, more so than anything, with what has been going on, I've been thinking about not just on a personal level, psychological impact, but also, with the children, how this whole thing has really affected us tremendously. And as an artist, solitude is my thing, but I know that a lot of people, that is not their thing. And with this quarantine, we have been kind of forced to be kind of under solitude or whatever. So I've suggested, rather than the medical world, for a plethora of reasons, I've always suggested African-centered healing for people who need healing for whatever reason. And what I'm suggesting, and this is something that I could designate some of my time towards and work in collaboration with another person who would be interested in taking on this project, or this is maybe something that somebody else will take on. But what I'm suggesting is that the same level of professionalism with PI and having an oath and swearing and taking a Hippocratic oath, I believe that African-centered healers have to take that same level of professionalism to their skill set. That when people come for healing, there has to be such a high level of integrity, and there has to be such a high level of protecting their personal information. And I say this also to say that I would take a healer with a quality skill set, but not a master healer over a master healer who didn't know how to close their mouth or didn't know how to protect people's personal information. In addition to that, I think that one of the things that we also have to consider is when it comes to someone coming to see you, why would you choose one doctor or one professional over another? It's trust, right? So what's imperative is that you have to have such a high level of integrity, and you have to do such a tremendous amount of inner work to check your lower nature, that anybody that comes to see you knows that you would never give them advice that would be led with jealousy or filtered through the lens of anything lower nature. The idea of somebody could come and take your place, or anything lower nature, anything that is of the shaitan has to be purged from you in order for you to be an effective healer. And I say this to say that there are women with a lot of wisdom, but there are also women that I've come across who may have the wisdom, who may have the knowledge, who may have the intellect, but have not done the work to purge their lower nature, that the wisdom that they're giving and the intellect that they're giving is not through the lens of, oh, I don't want this person to take my place, or she looks a certain way, or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's not just the skill set, but it's also coupled with a moral fabric is what really people have to understand when we talk about being able to do the work and being able to be a healer. Anyways, y'all, much love and peace.